monitoring a developing story out of Oakland, California. An airline, a Southwest flight 2547, a Boeing 737, took off this morning from Oakland on its way to Chicago Midway and apparently encountered some problems with its landing gear. So right now you're looking at a map of where the plane is, and as you can see that green oval on your screen, the flight is circling in that oval, trying to burn off some fuel. And we want to bring in on the phone our CBS Transportation Safety Analyst, Mark Rosenker, who's on the phone with us. Mark, we know that 130 people are on board this flight, and we don't know a lot, but can you walk us through some of the scenarios that might be at play here? Apparently, they're trying to burn off fuel so they can go back to Oakland to make a safe landing.
They're going through their checklist procedures. They're talking to their dispatch. They're talking to the company. They're talking, obviously, to the FAA's tower. They're doing everything they can to make sure that all of the systems that they're supposed to have are working, and also making sure that they have the ability to do what, in fact, if the gear is not operational, come in a way that's still safe and be able to bring this aircraft to a stop and get the passengers off as quickly as they can.
All right, so I guess one question would be, why wouldn't they just let the plane continue to fly all the way to Chicago and just burn off some fuel that way?
I think what they want to do is stay as close to the airport as possible right now. When they recognize they had an in-flight issue, there's no sense in trying to make decisions along the way. So they recognized apparently relatively quickly that they had a problem with their aircraft. They wanted to make sure they could bring it in safely, and they're doing that right now, working all of the issues, as I say, within the cockpit, talking to their dispatch and maintenance people, and also the FAA to make sure that they have the appropriate amount of first responder equipment should that be necessary.
And Mark, when we look at this map here on the screen, it shows that the plane is not that far from San Francisco. How long could they be in this pattern of trying to burn fuel?
Well, that, again, depends upon how much fuel they had, the burn rate itself. These aircraft, I think, have the capability of dumping some of this fuel. Right now, they, again, I think, are trying to go through the systems to see if, in fact, they can rectify this problem while they're in the air.
And Mark, this is considered one of the busiest travel days of the year. Two questions here for you. How could this possibly affect other flights? Is there going to be a ripple effect causing delays? And what are they doing on the ground to prepare for the plane when it lands?
Certainly, they've got their first responders with their fire trucks, any type of agent which may end up being sprayed onto the runway to stop any friction, stop any type of sparks that may occur when the aircraft lands, if that's one of the things they're considering. Also, obviously, ambulance capability.
And we just want to update our viewers. If you're just joining us, we're monitoring a developing story out of San Francisco right now. Southwest Airlines flight 2547 took off this morning for Chicago Midway, and shortly after takeoff, they encountered some landing gear issue. Right now, the flight is burning fuel nearby San Francisco. As you can take a look at the map on your screen, it is circling in that green oval shape. We're not sure exactly how long it needs to burn fuel, but eventually it is going to make its way back to Oakland to make a safe landing. On the phone with us is Mark Rosenker, former NTSB Chairman and CBS Transportation Safety Analyst. Mark, you mentioned they're going through all the checklists right now. Have you heard anything from any of your sources of how this is affecting other flights and this extremely busy travel day?
Well, certainly it should not be affecting the rest of the nation at this point, but obviously the airport that they're going to bring this aircraft in the event that they have a real problem there, obviously the flights both going in and out could have some delays or even cancellations.
And what are they telling the passengers on board this flight right now? What would be going on for them?
Well, obviously the captain is telling them they do have an issue. They're working the issue very hard. We don't know if this is an issue where they can't get the gear up or if they can't get it down. So whatever the issue is, he is being, I am sure, quite candid with them, but also reassuring them that they're doing everything they can and that they will have a good outcome.
And what would you be looking at during an instance like this? What would be the #1 thing that you would think of if you know there's a landing gear issue?
Well, again, they're going through their checklists. They're going to make sure that they have tried every single one of the systems, that in fact are dealing with this. There are many redundancies built into these systems, and of course, if there is an issue which in fact they cannot rectify, they're going to have to bring the airplane down. If the aircraft, for example, does not have the ability to bring the gear down, they will bring it in on its belly. If in fact they are not sure they've been able to bring the gear up and that it may not even be locked, that's going to be they're going to be dealing with.
All right. CBS Transportation Safety Analyst Mark Rosenker on the phone for us. Thank you so much. Of course, we're going to continue to follow this developing story. Again, Southwest Airlines flight 2547 is circling nearby San Francisco, trying to burn off some fuel. This flight left Oakland Airport at 6:13 this morning, Pacific Standard Time. It was supposed to land in Chicago at Chicago's Midway Airport just after 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. Again, they encountered some landing gear issue. We're taking a live look at the Oakland International Airport right now near San Francisco. As soon as we find out more information about this flight, Southwest Flight 2547, and when it is expected to make its landing, we will bring it to you right here on CBSN. We're going to be back in 90 seconds. We're going to take a quick break.